Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results and your WWE main event. And we got birthdays from October 20th. Chavo Guerrero, who was born 1970. Scott Hall, born 1958. October 21st birthdays. Bushwhacker Butch, he was born 1944. Bad News Brown, October 26th, 1943. Also on 22nd, D'Lo Brown, he was born 1970, and rounding out birthdays, Carmella, she was born October 23rd, 1987. Here's the latest video from Aiden English Wrestling with Whiskey YouTube channel. And also a blind tasting of the Weller brand, and below was a fireside chat with Old Forester 1910. Both video links. SmackDown General Manager Paige has announced Naomi versus Mandy Rose for this week's SmackDown episode. The match was made after the two had a back and forth Twitter exchange over Battle Royal at WWE Evolution on Sunday. As noted, SmackDown will also feature Rey Mysterio on Miz TV, plus Rusev versus the English. Ladies, I love how excited everyone is getting for hashtag WWE Evolution. So before we have a historic night this Sunday, I'm making it official for the first time ever at WWE Mandy Rose will face at Naomi WWE tomorrow night on hashtag SD Live. And you go to that link. And Paige at Real Paige WWE posted that. Also seen on Raw, Roman Reigns revealed that he has been living with leukemia for the past 11 years and it has returned. Reigns vacated the WWE Universal title to be with his family and focus on his health. Reigns noted that he wasn't delivering a retirement speech and that he would be back once he had done kicking leukemia's butt again. Very similar to Dr. Death Steve Williams with his cancer. It left him for 5 years and then came back and bit him. And he's no longer with us. My prayers and sympathies do go out to Roman and for a speedy recovery. WWE sent the following statement regarding Reigns taking leave of absence from WWE to battle his leukemia. As noted, Roman Reigns opened Raw in Providence, Rhode Island, by announcing that he's taking time off to once again fight leukemia, which he had been living with for the past 11 years, and it's been in remission since late 2008. Reigns, who made it clear that this was not a retirement speech and he will be back home at WWE very, very soon, also relinquished the WWE title, Universal title, as he's going home to focus on his health and family. The vacant title will be decided at Crown Jewel with Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar singles match on November 2nd in Saudi Arabia. And it is still under discussion whether you were changing cities, locations, but you can hear from me. I'm still predicting Saudi Arabia. And there was a backstage video of Reigns returning to the gorilla position after making his announcements. Reigns received support from WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Paul Heyman, Nia Jax, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and many others. Reigns called for a group hug and continued making his way through the backstage area, greeting others before making his way out of the arena. Reigns noted that he came to Raw at the last minute and wasn't prepared when joking about his rental car. As the reporter noted, several WWE superstars took to Twitter and reacted to the news from Reigns. And the stars are John Cena, Stephanie McMahon, the Usos, Hall of Famer Ric Flair, Tyson Kidd, and many others weighed in with the praise for the big dog. Though you might not like him, but he came out with the truth, gave his real name, and that changed the crowd's reaction during Raw as well. Reel's channel is airing a documentary on Hogan and Linda Hogan's marital issues and divorce as part of their new Irreconcilable Difference series. And here's the synopsis for the episode, which will premiere Thursday, November 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. 8 p.m. Central Time. Hulk Hogan's trademark bandana look and catchphrase, Hulkamania is running wild, brother, endeared him to fans. He became the most recognizable and well-liked wrestler in the WWE, soaring to international fame and fortune. But life on the road presented challenges for the marriage between Hulk and Linda Hogan. Traveling upwards of 300 days a year proved difficult for the young couple, and Hulk was not always the ideal, faithful husband. In 2005, the family began filming their VH1 reality show, Hogan Knows Best, but life in the ever-increasing spotlight only magnifies the couple's issues. Hulk thinks Linda's drinking is out of control, and Linda's obsession over Hulk's suspected infidelities is becoming all-consuming. The couple finally splits amidst one of the biggest media and celebrity scandals ever. It seems that Hulk's tawdry liaison with a friend's wife has not only ruined 2 marriages, but became a benchmark case for freedom of the press. Reality show life coach Patrick Wanis will provide new insight as to what really went on behind the scenes of Hogan Knows Best, where he worked directly with the Hogan family. Evolution will see the in-ring return of the Hall of Famer Alundra Blaze, aka Medusa, who hadn't wrestled for WWE in nearly 23 years. After throwing the WWF Women's Championship in the trash can on WCW Monday Night Show on December 10th, 1995, WWE added a few former champions to the Women's Battle Royal on Friday, including Blaze. Ahead of her return on Sunday, Blaze paid a visit to the Performance Center, and Blaze also tweeted the following in response to a fan saying she'll be the first to get eliminated from the Women's Battle Royal. It's not quantity in the time, it's quality. I could be in the ring 10 seconds, and my presence will be felt forever. When you see the Blaze, you're going to feel the heat. And you can see the link for that. And her Twitter account, if you want to follow her, is at Medusa_rocks. Stamford, Connecticut, October 22nd, 2018. Tonight, Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns, a.k.a. Joe Anoa'i, announced that he is relinquishing the WWE Universal Championship and taking leave of absence from WWE as he once again fights leukemia, which had been in remission since late 2008. This is a report from WWE, as I was talking about earlier. Reigns is taking the battle with leukemia public in an effort to raise awareness and funds for research in order to advance cures for the disease. Following his announcement, Reigns was joined by Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins on stage for an embrace. Stay with Wrestling Inc. is where I got this news from, for any dates to the story. And my next week's Monday, October 29th episode of Raw. The only thing you'll be doing is going over the ropes. I'm happy to help you with that. And that was back to Naomi. And that can be found at this link. And I'm happy to help you with that. At Trinity Fatu. At Naomi WWE. Hall of Famer Kurt Angle was training with the International Wrestling Cartel promotion in Pennsylvania this past weekend. The Raw General Manager is set to return to the ring at WWE Crown Jewel on November 2nd in Saudi Arabia for the World Cup tournament. Great training day at IWC_wrestling, prepping the World Cup for the World Cup November 2nd. Hashtag it's true at hashtag WWE Crown Jewel at Sean Parrott. Breaking news. There's a big yawn for the report. Only news about any of these two women, such as Trinity Fatu, which is Naomi, and the Golden Goddess, is that I'm going to be the one to throw each other and everyone over the top rope and win. Hashtag Golden Goddess wins, so gold, and can be found at that link as well. And that's Mandy Rose, the Golden Goddess. Whoever's her Twitter account, if you want to follow her, at WWE_Mandy Rose. Former TNA star Robbie E. is one of the contestants on The Rock's new competition show, The Titan Games, which was promoted during last night's Sunday Night Football episode. Last week's Sunday Night Football. This is set to debut January 2nd at 8 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on NBC. In case you missed the trailer, you can watch it in the video. Well, I have to get, you go have to search for it, because I didn't get the link. I'm making do a little bit of work. Speaking of Robbie E, he will have a live edition on his Why It Ended podcast on November 18th, a few hours before Survivor Series, at Jimmy's Famous Seafood in Baltimore, Maryland. The event will feature James Ellsworth and Francine of ECW fame. Tickets for the event are available now through Jimmy's Seafood at this link, Jimmy's Famous Seafood.com. I'll post the whole link. The 1 hour Chris Jericho Hunting Monsters special premieres on Tuesday on the Travel Channel. And here's a synopsis for the show. Chris Jericho wades deep into the Louisiana bayou to learn the truth behind the legends of terrifying swamp monsters. Along the way, he encounters compelling proof of from eyewitnesses, voodoo curses, and startling revelation from beyond the grave. Jericho posted a clip from the show on his Instagram at this link, and you can check it out. Chelsea Green signed with WWE and confirmed on Thursday as the organization announced the latest batch of talent to join the Performance Center. Green's NXT debut is imminent, as also scheduled to appear at 2 live events next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, this coming weekend. Green announced on Instagram at this link that she will appear at Thursday's show in Cocoa, Florida, and Friday's show in Largo, Florida. Rusev and Lana will appear on a future episode of Drop the Mic on TBS, which pits celebrities against one another in a comic battle rap competition. That's like John Cena doing rap. And Lana revealed the news on her Instagram story at this link. The head of Evolution, Alexa Bliss, is Lillian Garcia's next guest on Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia. Alexa's team was scheduled to team with Mickie James at the all-women's pay-per-view, and she will discuss her match against Trish Stratus and Lita, which will not be happening. And my prediction is that her other tag team partner will replace her, who just recently changed her hair from black to blonde. The interview will be available at this link. Well, for the Chasing Glory, it'll be available on Monday. Toni Storm spoke with ESPN on the upcoming Evolution pay-per-view, since she is now in the finals and has been wrestling since the age of 13, and WrestleMania involving more women's matches. And here are some of the highlights. Beginning with her wrestling career at 13, I was a fan when I was about 10. To begin with, I found a wrestling school that let you start training at 12. When I was 13, I found it and begged my mom for ages to let me go. And she was letting me go, and it was expensive to train and everything. But then, eventually, she let me do it. She would pay my fee by selling hot dogs at the shows, and that they would run. I wrestled in a little shed. I wrestled in front of moms and dads. It was borderline backyarding, but it was still a company. I got started then, and it was a ridiculous and silly age to start. But I'm glad I did it, because now I have all the experience, and that helps. After all, how many previous wrestlers started at the age of 13? Quite a few. WrestleMania eventually featuring a women's main event. She comments, eventually the way I want to see it is it's a half men's match and half women's matches. Not just one or two women's matches. It's been a long time coming. I don't think women's wrestling has ever gotten better. Women have always been good. We've just never had the opportunity to shine. Now there's more demand than ever because people are like, hang on a second. We should have half of the card here. Eventually, I think it's going to work its way up to that. You only need to look at the indies to realize that there's a lot of cards that are just half WWE Evolution and the camaraderie among women wrestlers. And that's how it should be, because there's no reason why it shouldn't be mixed completely. October is going to be massive. We got our first women's pay-per-view called Evolution. We didn't think that was going to happen 5 years ago. It was not even a question. But now it's actually happening, and I still don't believe it until I've seen it. It's so good. There are so many opportunities for girls now. We've always deserved it, but we've always worked hard and pushed forward, even when there's been a lot of dark times. There's a lot of competition for spots in the women's division, but there also has to be a lot of camaraderie because everyone wants to see the women's division succeed. A hell of a lot of camaraderie among the women. It's very competitive, but you think it would be a bit of a nasty atmosphere where they all are trying to get past each other to get to the top. But it's very supportive. I'm around the NXT UK girls a lot, and we all just take care of each other. It's good because we're all very competitive, of course, but at the same time, we've all got to work together to launch this, and that's what we've done so far. And it's starting to work. So if we all stick together as a team, we could have an all-women's WrestleMania. We've all gotten to this point. We might as well keep going. Storm also discussed traveling from Australia to England to train and work with the WWE Mae Young Classic. And that's all the highlights of that. NWA 70 took place from the Asylum in Nashville, Tennessee earlier on in the week, with Cody Rhodes losing to Nick Aldis, Mickie James' husband, in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. So he regained the championship. This is the second time Aldis has won the title, so that's proof that he ain't going nowhere. Blue Demon Jr. was at the event, announced that he will take on Aldis for the title at some point down the road in Mexico. Willie Mack defeated Samuel Shaw to become the inaugural NWA National Heavyweight Champion. So now you got Jazz, also Women's Champion, and Willie Mack, her husband. Also, Road Warrior Animal announced the Crockett Cup will return in 2019. Here are the full results from the show. Samuel Shaw defeated Sammy Guevara, Colt Cabana, and Scorpion Sky in a 4-way elimination match for a vacant NWA National Heavyweight Championship. Let's go at Colt Cabana. Hashtag NWA 70 and a picture of that link. Super King, Super Kicking It with Kelsey. At Super Kicking It, Barrett Brown defeated Laredo Kid, Insane Thud. Hashtag NWA 70. Also for that link. Picture. Super Kicking It with Kelsey again. Willie Mack defeated Jay Bradley, Mike Perro, and Ricky Starks in a 4-way elimination match. B for the vacant NWA National Heavyweight Championship. Yes, my guy won at NWA, hashtag NWA 70 from the reporter. Go to that link. Tim Storm defeated Peter Avalon in a Kiss My Foot match. I bet that was a smelly situation. Foot kissing time. Hashtag NWA 70. That link for you. Jazz defeated Penelope Ford to retain the NWA World's Women's Championship. Another picture of that for you. Handspring cutter by Penelope Ford. And it can be found on that link. Willie Mack defeated Samuel Shaw to win the vacant NWA National Heavyweight Championship. Yes! Hashtag NWA 70 at new champ. That link. Jax Dane and Crimson with Road Warrior Animal defeated Shannon Moore and Crazy Steve. With Josephus, Hollywood, and the Spiritual Ambassador. Nick Aldis defeated Cody Rhodes to regain the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in a best out of two out of three falls match. Aldis, accompanied to the ring by his insurance policy at Camilla Kane, can be found at that link. The champ, the American Nightmare at Cody Rhodes, can be found at that link. An amazing hashtag NWA 70 amazing show at NWA. Great job picture. And your main event results: Jack Ryder defeated Jinder Mahal with a roll-up. Only match that was announced for any results. Raw opened up live from the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island. Michael Cole welcomes us to the show. He's joined in by Renee Young and Corey Graves. Regards to ring out comes Roman Reigns. Mic in hand, championship belt. JoJo does the ring introductions. Reigns is not wearing his wrestling gear for the Shield tonight. Reigns takes his time settling in the ring. He's all in black jeans. Reigns says he feels like he owes everyone an apology because for months, maybe a whole year, he comes out here and says a lot of things. Like he'd be here every week. He'd be a fighting champion. Consistent and a workhorse. Reigns says that's all lies. It's a lie because the reality is his real name, he says, is Joe. And he's been living with leukemia for 11 years. And unfortunately it's back, and because of that, he cannot fulfill his role and cannot be the fighting champion he wants to be and has to relinquish the title. Reigns says he was diagnosed when he was 22 years old and he was able to fight it into remission. Reigns goes on and says WWE gave him a chance and put him in front of the fans to make his dream come true. It doesn't matter if he was cheered or booed, they reacted, and that was important. Reigns thanks the fans, and a thank you Roman chant started up from the crowd. Reigns says it's best for him to go home, focus on his family and his health for now. By no means is this a retirement speech. He says because when he's done whooping leukemia's butt, again, he's coming back home. Fans pop. Reigns says when he does come back, it's not going to be just about titles and being on top. It's about a purpose. He's coming back because he wants to show everyone that he will swing for the fences every time life throws him a curveball. Reigns says he will beat this and he will be back. So we will see him very, very soon. Reigns thanks everyone and says he loves them. Believe that. Fans chanted for Reigns one more time as he dropped the title in the ring and he left the ring. Dean Ambrose and Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins met him on the stage and they have a Shield hug and the cheers from the crowd continue. And they cut to a commercial. Back from the commercial, we see what just happened with Roman Reigns. Announcers are emotional when talking about Reigns' battle with leukemia. Fan chant "Cancer sucks" in the background. First match of the night, we got Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley. We got the ring out comes Finn Balor. Leo Rush is next with his arrogant comments and his chanting for Bobby Lashley to begin the introduction for Lashley. Rush starts running his mouth as the action in the ring starts. Lashley gets the upper hand on Balor and keeps him grounded. Balor turns around and lands a drop kick. Rush runs interference and Balor chases him around the ring. Balor runs into a huge clothesline from Lashley on the floor. Rush chants for Lashley as we go to commercial. Back from the ring, Lashley continues to dominate Balor in the ring. Balor finally gets an opening and hits a basement drop kick. Balor mounts offense and hits a forearm, but Lashley is still standing. More back and forth as Lashley hangs on. Balor finally drops Lashley with a shot to the chest. Lashley ends up turning it back around with a Samoan drop for a 2 count. Lashley with a long vertical suplex, but it's blocked It wasn't very long, maybe like 10-15 seconds. Balor nails a sling blade. Balor goes to the top for a coup de grace, but he lands on his feet and rolls through. Lashley levels Balor. Lashley looks to put Balor away, but Balor slides down and rolls him up for the pin out of nowhere. Very bad. Lashley just stares. After the match, it's Finn Balor heads up the ramp and poses as the music plays. And Rush joins Lashley into the ring. And now to talk more about Reigns, Coleslaw says, acting Raw General Manager Baron Corbin has been on the phone with Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon to decide what happens with the WWE Universal title. And as I was talking to my brother, I was predicting, well, I was saying that they should have a tournament, and that World Tournament should be, the World Cup tournament should be a new champion. But they would have to change the matches and what have you. But it's not happening because the results are coming soon. And now to talk more about Reigns. Okay, already said that. Next we got Sasha Banks versus Ruby Riott. We go to ring, out comes Sasha with Natalya and Bayley. We get a sidebar video of Banks, Natalya, and Bayley hyping their Evolution match against the Riott Squad. In my prediction, they are going to beat the Riott Squad. We go to commercial, back for the break. We get a backstage segment with the Raw Tag Team Champions. Dolph Ziggler talks about cementing his legacy at the WWE World Cup, and Drew McIntyre mentions something about going monster hunting. A reference to Braun Strowman. They will defend against Rollins and Ambrose later in the evening. We go back to the ring. Out comes Ruby Riott with Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, back and forth between the two to start the match. Banks drops Riott face on her face to start the match. Works her over in front of Liv and Logan. Riott comes back and drops Banks for a 2 count. Riott taunts Banks and pushes her around, but Banks fights back. They go on, and we get a standoff between the two teams at ringside. Banks brings her back in the ring, but Riott kicks a knee, and Banks ends up down on the floor. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Riott is dropping Banks with an SCO for a close 2 count. Riott keeps Banks grounded and talks some trash. Banks tries to fly it up and out. Banks drops Riott face first into the turnbuckle. Banks makes her come back with more offense now, building momentum. Banks with a double knees in the corner. Banks comes off the second rope with knees again. Banks does the clothesline and hits the backstabber in the middle of the ring. Banks goes for the Banks save, but Logan runs in. Then Bayley stops her, and they brawl to the floor. Natalya gets involved, as does Liv. Banks comes out and swings at Liv and Logan as they corner her. Banks goes back in and Riott decks her. Riott connects with a right kick for the pinfall win. After the match, Riott Squad hits the ramp as their music hits. And Nonsense hype WWE Evolution and WWE Crown Jewel simultaneously. Coleslaw sends us to this week's video package from Kane and the Undertaker with the warning to DX. I don't think I've seen that. Basically, and DX will be here tonight. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Nia Jax cuts a backstage promo on the Battle Royal at Evolution on Sunday. And she's my pick to win the Evolution Royal Rumble. And to get a later title shot. This is her opportunity to become the champion again, and it's an opportunity she won't squander. We got to ring, out comes DX, Triple H, and Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels. Fan champ for DX as they take the mic. Triple H says there are a lot of big words being thrown around lately, like fear. That it was fear that kept him from taking the suit off and coming out of the boardroom. The fear that Michaels coming out from retirement. Triple H says it will take a lot more than fear to stop him. He mocks Kane for taking his lunch break from being mayor and recording a promo in the boiler room with GoPro. Shawn says neither of them are running for mayor. Shawn goes on about nostalgia and says that's really just a polite way to say old. Triple H brags some about recent happenings and says maybe old just a polite way to say we're better. Triple H points to the X on Shawn Michaels' DX shirt, and that for many years it's meant that they were better than everyone else. He says maybe the X is in the past, but there's another X, WWE NXT crowd chance. That is about the future. Shawn says that they're running that too, and fans start chanting for NXT. Triple H says they're bringing the DX to the crown jewel, and they're not coming to make Kane and Taker laugh or feel nostalgic. They're coming to kick their butts. Triple H is interrupted by some music, and then the Undertaker's bell tolls, and the lights go down. The Brothers of Destruction appear on the big screen with words for DX. Kane says Triple H should have stayed away, and Shawn should have stayed retired because they can't survive the Brothers of Destruction. We see tombstones for Shawn and Triple H in a cemetery. Taker says DX's first match against them will be their last match against anyone. They will put them down, and they will own their blackened souls for eternity. They go on, and Taker says DX will never rest in peace. To end the segment. Their promo ends with Kane and Taker shoveling dirt on DX's graves. We cut back to the announcers. Colsaw shows us another replay from the opening segment with Roman Reigns. We also see comments from various superstars on Twitter. Colsaw confirms that the vacant WWE Universal title will be decided at Crown Jewel with Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. And I've already said I won't watch Raw ever again if Brock Lesnar wins, because he's not a fighting champion and he shouldn't be in WWE because he doesn't want to fight. We'll see a video of last week's segment with the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey. So I will only be giving the results and videos. We'll see a video of last week's segment with the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey. Paul Heyman's backstage walking. We go to commercial. So you know he's coming out for a promo. Back for the break, we get Dana Brooke cutting a promo on the Evolution Battle Royal, saying all eyes will be on her and she will be able to show everyone what she's all about. We go to the ring and Paul Heyman has a microphone. Heyman says tonight his thoughts and prayers are with the champion we know as Roman Reigns. Heyman goes on about being humble by being in the back with greatness, and how the WWE Universal Champion is the best. Heyman says until 8:05 p.m. tonight, we had the right to brag that the best and the number one was the Universal Champion. Heyman says Reigns would be the first to tell you that the show goes on. And so it does. At Crown Jewel, Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. Heyman says only one will be able to stand up and say that they are carrying on the legacy that Roman Reigns brought to the ring, that they are worthy of being champion. And that sure as hell ain't Strowman, so he says. Heyman goes on hyping Lesnar up as champion. Heyman then says Braun can keep doing what he wants to build himself up as a monster because his client doesn't have to build himself up. He is. Heyman says Braun isn't in Lesnar's league and can't compare. The familiar yell interrupts and Strowman comes marching out from the back. Strowman stops on the stage and stares down at the ring. Braun says the only words that need to come out of Heyman's mouth is to tell Lesnar that he's going to beat Lesnar's butt all over Crown Jewel, and then Braun's bringing the title back to Raw. And not just when he wants to, but every Monday. Braun says he's had his differences with Reigns over the years, but when Reigns beats leukemia's butt, he's first in line for a title shot. Braun says, but for now, Lesnar is going to get these hands. As the fans pop, Braun drops the mic and goes to leave, but Raw Tag Team Champions Drew McIntyre comes flying out of nowhere, nails a Claymore kick, dropping Braun at ringside. Drew then stands tall on the stage as his music hits. Braun recovers on the floor, and we get still to come segment. McIntyre and Ziggler defend their titles. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Dolph Ziggler's backstage giving props to Drew McIntyre for what he did to Strowman. Charlie Caruso approaches for comments. Drew says, Braun just got a swift kick of reality, and now he will realize that he needed them, not the other way around. Drew says now they can focus on what matters, defending their titles. We go to the ring and Elias is out with his guitar. Elias does his usual act, but is interrupted by Apollo Crews right as he's about to premiere a new song. We see what happened between Crews and Elias last week. Elias versus Apollo Crews is up. And the bell rings, they go at it. Crews drops Elias with a shoulder and then keeps control for a drop kick. And then Crews takes Elias down with a headlock, but they come right back up. Elias gets sent to the floor. Crews does the apron, goes to the apron and kicks Elias away. Crews with a moonsault from the apron. Crews stands tall on the floor as we go to commercial. Back from the ring, Elias has turned it around. Taking Crews down in the middle of the ring. Crews makes him come back and hits a big jumping clothesline. Crews with more offense and a standing shooting star press for a 2 count. More back and forth between the two. Crews ends up running into a knee and getting caught with a drift away for the pinfall. Winner of the match, Elias. After the match, Elias stands tall as the music plays while Crews rolls out of the ring. We get a backstage promo from the Hall of Famer, WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle, hyping his spot in the WWE World Cup tournament at Crown Jewel. Angle talks about how this may be his biggest challenge yet, and he takes a look at the other 7 competitors. So to come second, Rollins and Ambrose gets another Raw Tag Team title shot. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Coleslaw congratulates John Cena on being a New York Times #1 best-selling author with his new elbow grease book for kids. He must have been talking about made a book off of his Slam City thing, because that's what he was a mechanic in that. Elbow grease. We go to the ring and out comes JoJo introducing Elias again. Elias says he felt so good after that win. He wanted everyone to hear the truth. He goes to reveal a song, but actually Raw General Manager Baron Corbin comes out and interrupts. Corbin says they have a lot going on tonight, and his job is to keep the show moving. Elias wants to play the song anyway, but Corbin says Corbin isn't having it. Corbin warns Elias to stop staring at him like that, and says he would fire Elias if Stephanie McMahon didn't like him so much. Corbin orders Elias to get off the stage. Elias says he was writing a song in his head while Corbin was sucking the entertainment out of the building. Elias asks Corbin to silence his cell phone and, most importantly, shut his dang mouth. Elias performs the song and Corbin takes shots at Elias. Corbin yells for Elias' mic to be cut off, and it is. Fans boo. Corbin orders Elias to get off the stage again. Fans chant no as Elias goes to leave. Elias walks to the back as Corbin looks out at the crowd and smiles. Corbin speaks, but Elias comes back from behind and nails him with a guitar shot. And I applauded that. I knew that was coming. Consummated one goes down and the fans pop. Elias looks down at him and walks away. All smiles. We get a replay of the guitar shot. A referee helps Corbin to his feet now, and he's probably going to get a 30-day suspension from consummated one. Probably storyline, you know all that. Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey's backstage walking. We got a commercial. We get a WWE Evolution promo after the break. Michael Coleslaw welcomes in the ring for tonight's Evolution contract signing. He introduces Nikki Bella first, and she comes in with a sister Brie. The Bella twins are in the ring and have a mini sparring session. Coleslaw introduces the Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey next, and out she comes to a pop. Rousey all smiles and she rushes the ring as the Bellas retreat to the outside. Nikki says Ronda is obviously here to fight when they're here for a contract signing, and the last place that they want to fight her is Providence. Fans boo. Rousey then says she didn't come to beat them up tonight. She came to make sure that they signed the contract so she could beat them up at the pay-per-view. Rousey promises she won't lay a finger on them and says, unlike the Bellas, her word is her bond, and nothing that they can do will make her break that promise. Rousey says her mother would be ashamed of her if either of them could hurt her with her hands behind her back. She invites him into the ring and says she won't bite. The Bella's in the ring and mock Rousey. Nikki brings up how Rousey promised her mother she would win the Olympics, how she would win the World Championships like she did, and how she would not get hurt in the octagon before retiring undefeated. Nikki says Rousey gave her mother her word on those promises, and her mother is already ashamed of her. She tells Rousey to imagine what her mother is going to think when a diva beats her for the title on Sunday. Rousey signs the contract. Nikki signs it next. Nikki slaps Ronda. As soon as she signs it, Nikki then taunts Ronda. Rousey says she will end Nikki on Sunday, and that's her word. Rousey takes the title and walks out of the ring as the music hits. And the Bellas just look on. Coleslaw shows us another replay of Roman Reigns' announcement from earlier. Charlie Cruz backstage with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Ambrose says words can't describe the journey that they've been on with Reigns, and they're going to do what they always do tonight, win. Rollins says there are no words, but there are plenty of emotions, and tonight they will channel those emotions to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. Rollins says they're doing this for Roman, and they love him. Believe that. Nia Jax versus Dana Brooke versus Tamina Snuka versus Ember Moon. We go to the ring. Out comes Nia for a fatal 4-way. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Dana Brooke is out as well as Tamina Snuka. Ember Moon followed out with a sidebar promo from her hyping the Battle Royal Evolution. The bell rings and everyone goes at it. Tamina ends up unloading on Jax several minutes into the match. Jax scoops Tamina for a Samoan drop. But Tamina slides out and nails a super kick. Tamina turns her around to Moon, hitting the Eclipse from the top. Moon covers Tamina for the win. Got the pinfall off that. After the match, Moon Santal stands alone in the ring as the music hits. Jax stares her down from the floor. Announces hype the Evolution card for Sunday. We see the Raw Tag Team Champions backstage. We go to commercial. Back for the ring, Titus O'Neil's on the stage for Susan G. Komen segment for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Several survivors are standing with Titus, holding custom title belts. Titus shows us a video package narrated by Naomi that shows highlights from this year's Breast Cancer Awareness Month campaign as October is coming to an end. Titus talks about how tonight is special to him as his grandmother passed away from breast cancer in 1995. Titus calls each survivor up by name and has the crowd pop for each of them being champions in the fight against breast cancer. And Charlie is backstage with Hall of Famers Lita and Trish. They knock Mickie James and Alexa, saying that they are ready for Sunday's match at Evolution. Alicia Fox, who is the replacement for Alexa in the match, and runs her mouth. They have a message for Fox to take back to Bliss and Mickie, but Mickie suddenly attacks with Fox. And this is backstage. Fox and Mickie beat down Trish and Lita backstage as referees try to break them up. Fox and Mickie stand tall and call Caruso back over to talk more trash. Trish and Lita come back and deliver a beat down to Fox and Mickie, this time saying that that's how it was done in the Attitude Era. Raw Tag Team title match. What is your main event? Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose out first, as Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler follows to the crowd. And after the commercial break, out comes McIntyre and Ziggler. We get formal ring instructions from JoJo. Bell rings and Drew beats Ambrose down. Rollins tags in and double team McIntyre, slamming him to the mat. Ziggler runs in and you double suplex him. Rollins clothesline Ziggler over the top to the floor. They also send Drew to the floor. Ambrose and Rollins stand tall as the crowd pops. We go to commercial. Back for the break, Ambrose catches Ziggler, dropping him over the top rope. After finally getting an opening, Rollins tags in and hits the sling blade on Ziggler. Rollins ducks the clothesline and dives out, sending Drew into the barrier. Rollins runs back in and sends Ziggler to the floor with Drew. Rollins runs the rope and nails another suicide dive, sending both opponents into the barrier. Rollins brings Ziggler back into the ring and goes to the top, but McIntyre pushes him to the mat as the referee distracted with Ziggler. Ziggler with a famouser on Rollins for a close 2 count. Drew tags in, starts stomping on Rollins. taunting him. Ziggler tags back in to keep Rollins down. Ziggler taunts Ambrose and keeps Rollins grounded. Rollins fights up and out, but Ziggler jumps on his back and goes for the sleeper. Rollins with an ability back suplex to create another opening. Drew tags in and stops Rollins from tagging. Rollins counters and they trade chops. Rollins drops Drew with an insecurity. Drew and Ziggler keep control and avoid the comeback by the Shield. Drew ends up hitting the Alabama Slam on Rollins, which is more than power slam. Power bomb, should say, for a close 2 count. And we go back to commercial. Back for the break, and Rollins covers Drew for a close 2 count. As they call it, Alabama Slam, even on other episodes as well. Ambrose takes Ziggler out on the floor. Fan chant, "This is awesome." Rollins goes to the top, but Drew jumps up and rocks him from behind. Drew climbs up with Rollins, but Rollins fights back. Drew gets upside down in the corner for a trio woe. Rollins climbs up, but Drew overpowers and brings Rollins face first into the mat. Ziggler then cuts Ambrose off on the floor and sends him into the barrier. Ziggler goes up top, but Rollins jumps up for a superplex. Rollins holds it for the Falcon Arrow and a close 2 count, near fall. Fan chant burns down as he's tooted up the band, and Rollins cranks up for the stomp as Ziggler recovers. Rollins kicks Ziggler but misses the stomp. Ziggler kicks a knee out, but Rollins goes for the buckle bomb. Ziggler slides out and they trade more counters. Rollins with a buckle bomb, but Drew catches his partner. Drew blocks Dirty Deeds and hits a Claymore kick on Ambrose to send him out of the ring. More back and forth action as Ziggler hits a zigzag on Rollins for a close 2 count. But he can't believe that he kicked out of it. Drew tells Ziggler to lift Rollins up for the Claymore zigzag combo. Dean trips Drew from outside. Music hit, out comes Braun Strowman for a pop. Rollins rolls Ziggler up for a 2 count. Rollins runs over the referee and he goes down. Braun slowly marches to the ring, stares down Drew. Braun enters the ring and clotheslines Drew to the floor. Braun brawls with Drew out into the crowd. The referee still doesn't see all this. Braun sends Drew into the production area and then through more of the crowd. Drew tries to fight back with a steel chair, but Braun unloads on him. They fight back into the locker room area. Ziggler looks around and notices his partner is gone. Ziggler grabs the title and brings it back in the ring. Ambrose grabs it and pulls it away. Rollins takes advantage and kicks Ziggler, then nails the stomp, but there's no referee. Ambrose wakes the referee, throws him into the ring, and the referee counts the pin as Rollins recovers. Winners and new Raw Tag Team Champions, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Hold on a second. After the match, Rollins takes both of his titles as Ambrose grabs his new title. They hug and celebrate as the Shield music plays. Ambrose turns out of nowhere and drops Rollins with Dirty Deeds. Most fans boo Ambrose. Ambrose gets to his feet first as Rollins is still down. Ambrose stomps on Rollins and unloads on him, yelling at him. Ambrose mounts Rollins and pounds on him, talking more trash and mocking him. Ambrose sends Rollins out of the ring and keeps up the attack. And some shocked fans look on. Ambrose pulls the mat back and exposes the concrete. He pounds on Rollins some more. Ambrose drops Rollins on the concrete with another dirty Deeds. Ambrose stands tall to more boos now. Heel turn, full action. Ambrose marches through the crowd while Rollins is laid out at ringside. Ambrose stops up high in the crowd and looks back at Rollins. Ambrose keeps walking as Raw goes off the air. Well, this week's Raw main event saw Dean Ambrose turn heel on the Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins moments after they captured the Raw Tag Team titles from Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. No word yet on what this means for the titles, but WWE posted this video here of Rollins being helped up after the attack. And that concludes my video for this week's Raw and WWE main event. Thanks again. Peace out. See you when I'll be. If you don't know, just call me, brother, sister.